Hi everyone. So I'm gonna wait just a second here until a couple people jump on. Give everybody a chance to jump on here. So stay tuned. One moment. I hope everybody is excited for this year to be over. I know I am, and I hope everyone's having a happy holidays so far. And just wait in just a couple seconds for some people to get on. So while we're waiting here, I can just talk about SARP real fast. For those of you that don't know, we are a nonprofit agency that serves anybody that has been affected by sexual violence, ages 13 and up. We provide free and confidential counseling. We also do crisis services. We provide a free 24-hour hotline that anyone can call at any time, talk about maybe some experiences they had. If they're in a crisis, they can call us and talk to us, ask us questions, whatever they kind of what they want. It's a really awesome service that we do offer. And the phone number is 979-731-1000 if anybody is interested in calling that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. For those of you that don't know, my name is Jennifer. I am one of the education and outreach specialists here at SARC. I do, Teal Talks as well as my coworker, Patricia. Teal Talk Tuesday has been kind of a thing we've been doing, and it's really awesome. We're able to share some of these topics with you guys. And so today we're going to be talking about preventing sexual violence. And I do want to say beforehand, again, I am going to be talking about some heavy topics here. So if some uncomfortable feelings get brought up, please call our hotline. You are more than welcome to call us, talk to us about what you're feeling. If you have any questions or comments or anything, please comment them just so you know that the comments are not confidential. So if you have a confidential question or comment, again, call our hotline and we can get that answered for you. All right. So prevention is it's such an interesting topic. When I talk to people about prevention, their ideas of what prevention is covering your drink when you go out, staying with your friends, maybe learning a self-defense class or doing kind of any of that sort. And while it's really important to be aware of your surroundings and protect yourself as much as you can, it does not always protect yourself. It is not 100% going to work. And so this is going to be more of a larger scale prevention talk. We're going to talk about how do we change some of the social norms around this? How do we talk to our children about consent and all these different things to ultimately prevent sexual violence? So I'm going to just do a couple of them for the sake of time. The first one we have here, if anyone hasn't heard of it, it's called bystander approach. And so what this is engaging youth and adults to intervene when a situation looks like it might lead to sexual violence. And so there are so many different ways they can do this. This is really teaching them to do it in a safe way. But for example, we're in a college town, and so if there's a student at a bar and they're looking at a situation between two individuals, and one individual is looking really uncomfortable, maybe showing, body signs, body language of them being uncomfortable, like facing away, or if they're too intoxicated to consent, that's a point where somebody would really utilize bystander intervention and intervene in that situation, get that person to safety, find their friends. It doesn't always have to be our own friends that we're looking out for. It can be a random person at, a restaurant that we see. It can be somebody in the street, kind of whatever, but doing it in a safe way where you get that person away from the individual who is causing them harm, making them feel uncomfortable. So ultimately, that would prevent sexual violence, hopefully, as well. And that's something that we can do starting now. We can really do that to protect our friends, to protect our family, protect our community, the people around us. I think it's a good thing that we can do. A lot of people ask, what can I do to do my part now? That is something you can do, is really look out for your friends, look out for your family, and look out for everybody around you. Be aware of that, intervene when needed in a safe way. There's a lot of trainings on bystander intervention. So if you're interested in that, you can contact us and we can get you some more trainings on that to talk more specifically about how to do it safely, because there is a lot more to that as well. But another one on a larger scale when we're thinking about maybe not what we can do individually right now, but when we're thinking about what we can do for future generations to prevent sexual violence. These are changing the social norms around rape culture, around gender, around sexuality, and around violence when we're really looking at it. Something that has been used is called engaging boys and men. So, really engaging boys and men as allies, bringing them into the conversation more. Previously, people may have thought that sexual violence was a women's issue or something that women should speak on. And, it's important to empower women and have them speak on it, but also it's important to bring men and boys in as allies to protect survivors in general of all genders. So I think it's a really important thing to do, but also have conversation with boys, younger boys, about masculinity. And one way that people have been doing this is bringing in a positive, healthy masculinity role model. So a male role model that just really shows what their masculinity is in a positive and healthy way, how they talk about violence, how they talk about aggression, how they talk about strict gender roles. So if people don't know, actually having really strict gender roles, really strict ideas of gender roles is actually a risk factor for future perpetration. So talking to young children about gender roles and about they don't have to fit in this box of what it exactly means to be a man or a female, a man or a woman. It really just it means whatever it means to them. So that's one way we can do it, changing those social norms around gender and masculinity to ultimately, again, prevent sexual violence. The next approach that we have is talking to children about consent. This is something, all parents that are watching this, you guys probably do such a great job about it, but really making an effort to talk to your children about what consent is. And you can do this in a very age appropriate way. I've talked to kindergartners about consent. You don't have to use the word consent. You can just say, before you hug somebody, ask them. And if they say no, you have to respect that boundary. And it's okay to feel sad that somebody said no, they didn't want to hug. But again, you can't push them and make them say yes to the hug. So, talking about those in very simple terms creates a really great foundation for children later in life when they start exploring their sexuality and when they start dating and start relationships. They have that foundation, and it's second nature for them to ask before they touch somebody, ask before they hold somebody's hand or kiss them or whatever that is. Later in life, it becomes a lot easier for them to accept consent and what it actually is. So, and if somebody does say no to a kiss or whatever it is, that, yeah, they can be sad about it, but they're not going to push that person and make them do it in any way, So it's really important for us just to talk about to kids about all of this, to really have those conversations about sexuality, really open and honest conversations. Kids are so curious. I feel like their brains are like sponges. They will, soak up all the really great, amazing information that parents and teachers and, role models and adults will give them. So being able to talk to them about this is also important, and talking to them about healthy relationships in general. So if they, are in middle school and maybe they're starting to have crushes, or if they're in elementary school, talking to them about what that means to have a healthy relationship. And this can be friend relationships too, telling them to spot red flags and really take those red flags seriously, and maybe what they tell them what they can turn into. So those kind of conversations are important for us to have with children at younger ages, so it's just second nature and they don't have to relearn that later in life. The last one that I have for you guys today is about protective environments. So this is something where policies need to be put in places for schools, for workplaces, organization, groups, whatever it may be. There needs to be policies in place that protect survivors and that are against sexual harassment and sexual violence. So if we're talking about a workplace, we are talking about having those policies that are against sexual harassment, and if somebody does come forward, that they will be supportive and supported in their decision to come forward. The consequences are a lot larger for the person that was doing it, really making it a serious issue that this person's going to be taken seriously, and there is going to be some action done against the perpetrator who did it. That's something that, if you are in if you're higher up in a company or you're in a manager position, really making it known that that is not tolerated in your company, not tolerated in your team, in your group, whatever it may be. Making it a serious issue can really, really deter people from perpetrating in the first place. They say, this is not going to be the place I am going to do this because I'm going to get fired, kicked out, all of these things. And that really does go with changing the social norms as well around sexual violence, is changing the severity of it and how serious this topic is, making it known that rape culture shouldn't be a thing in future generations. But yeah, I think there are so many more ways that we can prevent sexual violence, so many more. And so if you are interested in continuing this conversation, please comment or let us know, call us. If you visit our website, it's sarkbv.org. It has all of our information, all of our contact information. It has our email, phone number, all of our events coming up. Next year, we're going to hope that it's a better year, and we are always here for you. We're always here to listen. So please, again, call us, and I hope everybody has a really great holiday and end of the year. 2020 is almost over. I think we all should give ourselves a big pat on the back getting through this year, and I hope everybody stays safe and everybody is happy and healthy. And yeah, so happy holidays, everybody.